welcome to my channel. Today we're playing with some new Catrice products. I have 4 items here that, according to Boozy Shop, where I order my Catrice stuff, were all new. So I have the Hydrator Plump and Fresh Primer. I think they already had something like this, but maybe it's reformulated. This is the thing I'm most excited about. I have the Clean ID 24-hour Hyper Hydro Skin Tint. It's a vegan formula. And yeah, I thought the packaging was really cute. And it doesn't have any silicones or microplastic particles. So it's supposed to be good for you and the environment, so that sounds really interesting to me. But we're going to see today if it's actually worth your money. And I have this Glow Lover Oil-infused highlighter, which looks beautiful. I haven't even swatched this. I've been trying to reserve these products for weeks now for the sake of this video. And well, we're going to see today how it works. It should work for me. It's maybe a little bit dark, but I think it'll work. And then finally I have this amazing new lip gloss. Haven't tried it yet, just looks amazing. It's the Better Than Fake Lips Volume Gloss. So I was very excited about that one as well. So I'm just going to show you those 4 products. The rest I'm going to do off camera on my own with whatever is in front of me. I'll do a full face of Catrice in the near future as well, but for today I really wanted to focus on these 4 products and maybe do a little wear test for the skin tint. It's now 3 o'clock, so I should be able to wear it for like 8 hours and tell you something more. So if you're excited for that, then please keep watching. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Cecile. I'm 29 years old. I live in the Netherlands. I upload makeup related content multiple times a week. I'm also on Instagram and I guess I'm also on TikTok, but I'll need to get that ball rolling a little bit. But yeah, technically I'm also on TikTok. And if you like this video, then please consider subscribing. If you like the way my skin is looking, I feel like it's looking very oily. It's the moisturizer that I used. If you're an OG follower, a couple of videos ago I was wearing this night cream and I said it was so oily and so thick. Well, this is the day cream version from the same brand and it's better, but it's pretty shiny. So yeah, it's not very sticky, so I think we'll be okay. My skin is sort of normal, so it's okay to have a little bit more of hydration. So without any further ado, let's get into this video. By the way, if you like my, it's long, little blouse thingy that sort of looks like pajama tops, it's from H&M. I think it's new and yeah, I like it. Just wanted to let you know. Alright, I'll zoom you in a little bit. And let's start with the Hydrator Plump and Fresh Primer. It has aloe vera. It's a 30 ml container. And what it says is primer to hydrate, refresh with cooling effect and prolong makeup wear. Gel texture for a hydrated plump finish and well-cared skin. Dermatologically approved. Yeah, and it's green. So I'm not sure what the prices of all these things were. Not that high, I assume. Somewhere all between the 2 and 5 euros. I'll link everything down below. So this is what it looks like, kind of what I was expecting. So it isn't just a hydrator, it is supposed to prolong your makeup, which is nice because if I wanted hydration, I'd just put on a moisturizer. My dryness is mainly on my cheeks and a little bit along my eyebrows. And sometimes I get a little bit oily right here and on top of my head. Just so you know, for testing the skin tint. This feels a little bit like, and I'll pull it out again, this NYX primer that I keep talking about. It has the same kind of semi-dry down or tacky feeling. And it sort of looks the same. This looks yellow in the container, but it's actually see-through. Yeah, it sort of feels very similar. And I was alerted by the word plumping finish. So that sort of sounds similar to the Plump Right Back primer from NYX. So I do like that primer. This one is a little bit less tacky, which could be a good thing, because some things were a little bit difficult to blend on top of the NYX primer. Alright, let's get into the star of today's show, which is the Clean ID 24-hour Hyper Hydro Skin Tint with hyaluronic acid, squalene, and aloe vera. Hyaluronic acid is sort of a tricky ingredient for me. Usually it just makes my skin very dry, but sometimes it works. I've heard oily people mention that they really like it, so I guess it's just a see for yourself kind of ingredient. I got mine in the shade 002 Neutral Ivory. Ooh, it's more liquidy than I was expecting. Well, not extremely so, but it's a little bit more liquidy. Sort of the same consistency as the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation. I think the color is going to work for me. Alright. Very sheer coverage. I think this was the lightest shade, and it's actually not really that light. But it blends out easily, and it gives a nice hydrated look, I must say. I'll just finish half of my face. So I feel like those skin tints that are so popular, they are often just foundations with another label on it. That's what I feel like. Like the skin tint from Glowish, that's a full-on foundation. And most of those products are. Even the Fenty skin tint is also, well, it's easily a medium coverage. And I actually kind of like having something in my repertoire of foundations that is actually a light or sheer coverage for those days when I don't really want to look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. So I thought I had a good one. I'll show you. With this Got To Be Sheer Me Up foundation, which is only available in Europe so far, but yeah, it looks pretty good, but it settles in my lines after about an hour, and it doesn't wear that well. So I was a little bit disappointed by this one, and this one kind of looks very similar. Very similar actually. So if you did try this one and you had the same problem, then please keep watching, because we'll see. I'll do a little wear test and we'll see if this one wears better. So yeah, this was my only very sheer coverage product, so this will be my second. So I like the fact that it is actually a little bit more sheer. Having a little bit of difficulty to blend this out on my nose. I had to go over a couple of times, but now it's streak free. Yeah, I do feel like it's a little bit dark. You can see this is my natural color. It's okay. In the summer I get a little bit more, well, I won't say tanned, but like a half a shade deeper, and then it should be perfect. But yeah. That's always so disappointing with drugstore foundations. I always get the lightest shade and it's usually just a hair too dark for me. And I'm not the fairest one in the world. I mean, there are people who are paler than me, so that's just unfortunate. However, I did not check how deep the shades ran, because that's of course a way bigger problem in the world. I'll look it up while editing and I'll put something here on the screen with how many shades there are and how deep they run. I hope I have some good news for you, but I'm just not sure anymore. I don't think there were that many shades. So I used about 2 little squirts. I used a little bit less than I would usually use with foundation. It spreads very easily. So I'll come a little bit closer. You can definitely see that it's too deep for me. That's a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, it looks kind of nice, looks kind of glowy. You can definitely still see all of my imperfections, but I do like the way my skin looks overall, and it does look a little bit more perfected. So I think that's exactly what a skin tint needs to do. So if this wears well, I finally have a Catrice foundation that I like, because I did try 2 of them last year. The True Skin foundation that everybody loved, I hated it. It was my worst foundation, I think, of last year. And then I also tried their HD liquid, the little pipette foundation, and that looked horrible on me as well. But this one is promising. So now we're at the stage that I need to do other things than what I have in front of me. So I'll be right back with some bronzer, some mascara, and we'll do highlight and lips together. I'm back. I actually redid my skin tint because I added this from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it was just so overpowering that I decided to not do any cream bronzer, because I feel like it took over my whole face. My whole face looked brown. I just used too much. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So I did it again. And what I did this time, I used a little bit of my Catrice High Coverage liquid coverage concealer, a little bit of my Essence Brighten Up powder underneath my eyes only. Really only, not on my nose. I stayed clear from my nose. Then I used this bronzer from Catrice. This is the Sun Glow Matte Bronzing Powder. And I used this blush. And I also put a little bit of blush on my eyes. And I used my Tony Moly mascara. And I think that's all you missed. I went a little bit crazy with the blush. So now that I'm on camera, I can really see it very clearly. So I'm just going to go over with the powder brush and see if I can tone it down a little bit. I think that's a little bit better. Because this skin tint is so light in coverage, I really have to adjust everything else. So I think I also went a little bit too ham with my bronzer, but it's okay. Oh, I also used my Anastasia Brow Freeze and my NYX Lift and Snatch in my brows. So now let's do the final pieces from my Catrice haul. This is the Glow Lover Oil-infused highlighter. It's in the shade number 10, Glowing Peony. I'll show you again. Wait, I'll open it. As you can see, this skin tint is really glowy, because I used a bronzer that was matte on purpose, and you can still quite visibly see the shine. And this time I didn't reapply my what's it called, moisturizer. I just wanted to use the primer and the foundation on its own. So here it is, beautiful swirl. I'm actually really curious about this one. I expected it to be super duper powdery, but it's not. It doesn't give a lot of kick up. Not bad. Ah, it's buildable. That actually looks really nice. I'll do the other side. You know, it actually reminds me a little bit of my Dior highlighter, like the traditional one. Also put a little bit on my nose and on top of my lip. That's actually really nice. It's not as bright as I was expecting, but if you look at it in the light, there is sort of a pinky sheen. So it's definitely, I'll swatch it. It's definitely a pink highlighter, but it looks kind of skin toned. So you can see it's sort of duochromy. It's white with pink. And then of course on the skin it's a little bit more blended out, but you can definitely see a little bit of pink in there. Oh, that's gorgeous. You know what? I wasn't expecting this to go so well. And then finally I'll put on the lip gloss. I mean, this'll be good. I hardly come across a bad lip gloss. But of course the question is, it is white with little twinkles. So the question would be, how opaque is it? I'm actually not very impressed. It's okay, it's just not super duper glossy. And it's very sheer. And you don't see any of the little sparkles. It does feel nice. It's not very tacky, but not very liquidy either. It looks nice on camera. And I guess in real life as well. It's just a little bit more of a clear gloss, but it was very cheap, so it's not a bad clear gloss. So this is my finished makeup look. Again, very casual. I never do this. I always do a crazy eyeshadow look, but for these kind of videos I always tone it down. So this is it. And I'll meet up with you in about 8 hours, I hope. And then we can see how this wears. Alright, I promised you a check-in, so here it is. It's been about 6 hours, it's now 9 o'clock, so not as long as a wear test as I was hoping, but I really want to take my makeup off and I feel like I can give a nice overview of how this wore. So the first couple of hours I felt like I was pretty shiny. Bordering on too shiny on my forehead, but I still kind of liked it. And then as time progressed, it sort of settled down a little bit more. It's actually, now that I think about it, that's a great blush. It's pretty much transfer proof, or at least it doesn't feel tacky or wet at all. It feels nice and set. Maybe a little bit wet here, but really not much. And the only thing that happened was that it was looking a little bit dry right here. I don't notice it too much, and I do think it looks very pretty everywhere else. It didn't fade a lot, so that's really nice, but yeah, I do notice this dryness, and these are my driest parts of my face. So I'm not sure how dry skin friendly this is. I also used the hydrating primer underneath, so keep that in mind. So maybe, yeah, the wear time is pretty good, but maybe it's not suitable for every skin type. Or you should moisturize a little bit more. That could also be an idea. So the highlighter, still very beaming. I'm wearing a different lip gloss, but that wore away after a couple of hours, as you can imagine. And what else did I put on? I think that's it. Yeah, that's everything I was testing today. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.